Hey there, guys, patriots, fellow Americans. This is True Outlaw Patriot, bringing you a video here that I just came across. I'll leave the link in the description, but a lot of this is very disturbing and disgusting about what's going on in Hawaii, so please pay attention. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. And in my last few videos that I did on what's going on in Hawaii, you'll see that a lot of the stuff that I spoke about of what my opinion was, what was going on, this video just explains a lot more. I'm telling you, this was, in my opinion, again, this was an opportunity for evil people to take over Hawaii. And I did mention that, people are complaining about Oprah Winfrey. I said, don't really pay attention to her. It's Mark Zuckerberg you have to look out for. But here we go. It's about almost 16 minutes long, but please pay attention and watch this too if you truly care about Americans. Just so everybody knows, I am a Republican conservative voter. 98% of the people in Hawaii are Democrat, but in my eyes, they're still Americans and precious human beings. So, just so you know, for anybody that watches this who's a liberal or a Democrat, if you truly think that that party has your best interests at heart, you need to see what's going on here. But here we go.
Just in, Mark Zuckerberg's ruthless Maui land grab.
And one more quick thing. I'm not trying to make this into politics. I'm just trying to point the fact of when Americans really need help, the government doesn't give a flying fuck about us. Here we go.
Grab. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. In today's video, we're taking a very close look at Mark Zuckerberg's questionable behavior in Hawaii that makes locals there want him to leave the islands for good. Be sure to watch this entire video, as I promise, you're going to see things that mainstream media absolutely does not want you to see. Let's go. There is a 12-mile media ban in Maui. No journalists allowed. This again infringes on First Amendment rights. Matt Wallace asked, why is the Maui Fire's media ban still in place? What else are they hiding? We can have reporters in literal war zones like Ukraine, but not in disaster areas like Lahaina. Totally normal and not sketchy at all, right?
Just so you know, I find that hard to believe for the fact that every time there's a hurricane or something like in Florida and stuff, some kind of, heavy catastrophe, the media is on the ground. The reason why they don't want the media in Hawaii is because the native people there are talking. They're trying to shut them down. Keep that in mind.
Let's deep dive into more of what's happened. Daniel Zach asked, to my people on Maui, is all of this true? Fire hydrants were dry. Fire marshals were out of town that night. The mayor and the governor were out of town. People who were trying to evacuate were told it was not time to evacuate and to turn around back into the fire. No cops on bullhorns. No firefighters in the streets. Most robust emergency siren system in the world did not sound. No warnings whatsoever. Anomalies with reported wind directions that don't scientifically add up. Tourists evacuated by bus. Locals locked in and told that they can't get back in if they leave. School was canceled. Children were home while parents worked. Hundreds of children burned alive. Can't be identified. A perfect circle of fire around Lahaina. Molten metal next to intact trees. Media reporting fractions of real numbers. Insurance policies taken out on Lahaina before the fires.
All right, before he gets too into it, on my video yesterday, I showed one of the locals saying how the police were stopping people from leaving. So that's very questionable. The water not working. There's a video that surfaced of a man who said, and it showed him on the roof of his house, I believe, or the fire captain's house, and they were watching, trying to figure out which way everything was blowing. And that gentleman said that the fire captain told him that he was packing up to evacuate, so he followed suit. And I've been trying to find the video again, but I'm gonna try to find it and put it up. So if the fire captain evacuated, it's all these things put together. And don't even get me started on the melted metal that they're talking about next to trees that didn't burn. Everybody's gonna keep thinking this is a conspiracy theory, but it almost sounds like concentrated energy that was being used. And a lot of people are not understanding how wicked people will be to get what they want. And I keep saying it, but let's continue.
Who owns Lahaina besides the Hawaiians? The oceanfront property, the government. Wild how all this new uninhabitable land that only big developers can afford to clean up opened up for the plans of turning Maui into a smart island with billionaire funding. How many do you need? It goes on and on and on. Literally surrounded by water, Hawaiian official M. Kaleo Manuel refused to release water in Maui as the fire wreaked havoc and destruction. Manuel is the deputy director of the Department of Land and Natural Resources. Let's listen in as he explains that water should be revered but not used even in an emergency.
The commission.
Now I watched this just so you guys know this is very disgusting for what this man says about why they didn't use water. Let's continue.
And is responsible per our authorizing statute to protect and manage all water resources in the state. One Water is like taking it and looking at it from a holistic system perspective. And that's not any different than how Hawaiians traditionally managed water. In essence, Native Hawaiians treated water as one of the earthly manifestations of a god and a kua, kane. And so that reverence for a resource and that reciprocity in relationship was something that was really, really important to our worldview and well-being, right? And living in an island, isolated from other, civilizations. And so I think where it shifted to today or over time is that we've become used to looking at water as like something which we use and not necessarily something that we revere as that thing that gives us life, right? I mean, to me, it's a shift in value set. If we can start to really look at how we as humans in an island can reconnect to that traditional value set. So really my motto is always like, let water connect us and not divide us. Like we can share it, but it requires true conversations about equity.
Another question.
True conversations about equity? I can't even say the fucking word. I wonder before this happened how they dealt with when volcanoes erupted and there was fires everywhere. I find it hard to believe every word that came out that man's mouth. That it's okay to know that your fellow people are burning, and that he took it upon himself to sacrifice basically hundreds of people's lives for his belief, when all the natives there, mostly Hawaiians, are upset. Who the fuck does he think he is to make that choice for people that were dying, burning alive, running for their lives, their children being burnt alive? Evil plants itself in many different positions in society. And let me tell you something. My heart it just goes out for all these people there, because I don't even want to imagine that horror. I've been in 2 fires in my life and got out. Okay? Thank God. I find it hard to believe that this man took it upon himself to make that decision, knowing that his fellow people were being burned alive. This has gone beyond the level of wickedness of all the players that are in this, from top to bottom. But let's continue.
To ask is why? Why were Maui police ordered to shut down the distribution of emergency supplies to the locals who were affected by Maui fires? Take a look and you'll see even the police were questioning the orders.
Crazy.
I've just been informed that we are shutting down this placard distribution as of now. Please, there are powers that be. I'm not sure of the reasoning. All I know is the order has come down to shut down the distribution of these placards. That's all I have for you.
It's
See what I'm saying, people? They are trying to take over Hawaii. They're trying to get rid of the people. They're trying to get rid of the people. They send the kids home. All those kids are gone. They got rid of generations to come, while at the same time getting rid of the older people. People, open up your eyes. The evil powers that be, they are trying to take Hawaii by hook or by crook. And this is what the media won't show. In the age of technology, that they honestly fucking think that none of this information will come out. And there's a lot more coming and to come. If only. I mean, just think about it. What better place to do something like this? You can't do it on the mainland. There will be people from all states. I mean, millions of people going to help. This was coordinated. They seen the opportunity to run their plan. And too bad it's on an island that millions of Americans from either side, either gender, either race, whatever, cannot get to fight for their fellow Americans. This is evil and it's wicked. Open up your eyes, people.
absolutely mind-blowing that supplies for families in need are being turned away.
There is extreme corruption going on with the government here. They took 150 meals to be delivered for the people in need that are starving and don't have food or water. They were denied because they don't have a commercial kitchen license. And the boats that are trying to leave and give supply.
When has anybody ever done that? Again, with all the hurricanes we've had here on the mainland, I mean, tornado outbreaks. I mean, every time in California when there's a fire, every time there's something going on, people come from all over with all kinds of meals and nobody steps in to stop them. Why in Hawaii? Why these bogus bullshit fucking excuses? They are trying to kill off the people in Maui. They want that land. They want that land. Open up your eyes.
To Lahaina, and the people in need are having to bust through barricades to deliver supplies. So it seems like at every single turn, the government is doing everything that they can to make sure that the people here that need help do not get help. FEMA came and picked up a bunch of supplies and nobody knows where they went. I know in past FEMA situations, they found shipping containers full of supplies never given to those in need. So super sketchy.
Something is very wrong with all of this. I mean, all of it. There are endless videos of survivors and the stories that they tell are absolutely wild.
It was a firestorm. There was tornadoes of ash the size of charcoal from a barbecue, like being thrown by baseball players. I'm ducking behind walls. I had to kick in the door at Bubba Gump's to get out of it because I was getting pounded. And then Bubba Gump started on fire and I'm running down Front Street and the wall, there's like 80 people and the ocean was on fire. If firefighter told me because the first layer of ash causes a seal. And then the next layer of ash was all the ambers. So the tide line was on fire and I had to jump through the water and come up through the fire. And 80 people, they were on the wall. Everybody started jumping in. Coast Guard was out there grabbing people. And I was like, no, I'm good. I was born in the water. I'm a cod. And they're grabbing people and I swam. I knew my phone was only good for like 15 seconds being submerged. Then swam for like a half mile north. It was like nothing you've ever seen. This was bad that the people in their cars that were dead and from asphyxiation and the fire blew out the car and you just saw the numbers of the dead are so wrong.
FEMA also authorized one-time payments of $700 per household to folks who've been displaced.
This fucking piece of shit clown of a president. He's not even the president. He stole the election. I keep saying, I'll always keep fucking saying it. I cannot believe this man just wanted to pass through Congress again to send fucking Ukraine another few $1 billion. And the best he can do is give a one-time payment of $700 per household. You know, I am full of so much rage that I believe that there are times in life when the enemy wants to pull out every ugly thing inside of a person. So he sends his minions to do it. And let me tell you something, people. I don't give a flying rat's ass who I offend. This fucking prick right here, this piece of shit right here, is one of his minions. Remember that.
Place so they can do the immediate things of just taking care of medications and prescriptions that they so badly need.
President Joe Biden announced a whopping $700 for Maui fire victims. The U.S. has sent billions of dollars to Ukrainians, but only $700 to Hawaiians. What kind of message is that sending to the rest of the world? Hawaii's Democratic Governor Josh Green sent a message clearly indicating a land grab by saying that he is already actively thinking about ways for the state to acquire the land that was annihilated by the blaze. Just a reminder, on January 3rd of 2023, Maui announced plans to become one of the first American smart cities, or 15-minute cities. In order for a 15-minute city or smart city to be implemented, the unelected globalists must first control the land with no private ownership. Listen closely to what Green had to say.
I'm already thinking about ways for the state to acquire that land so that we can put it into workforce housing, to put it back into families.
Hawaiians in Lahaina.
Yeah, on my video yesterday, this came out today. On my video yesterday, I said it. I said that the government's going to find a way to claim eminent domain. And I said they're going to find every way to say that, you know, they need to get that land because it's unsafe. You just heard it from the governor. This was today. I said this yesterday on my video. If you don't believe me, look it up. Look at my video. And I said it because this has all the makings of a power grab, of a land grab, of the government and the evil elite billionaires to do whatever it is they want to do, to just reign in their power. But let's continue.
China are already getting offers for their now available land from developers. There are many, many coincidences surrounding the Maui fires, but let's take a look closer at this one.
Not that long ago, Hawaiian government officials in the areas that were just affected by the wildfires passed a law saying that that land could not be redistricted for new building permits unless some sort or some type of a serious natural disaster occurred. Serious natural disaster occurred. And what did we have happen through those 3 districts of very sacred land to the Hawaiians? A very serious natural disaster. I'm not going to get into space lasers and all of that, but People called their insurance companies after the fire, and the insurance companies, for the first time, informed them that there was zoning infractions on their land, so they would not honor their insurance policies. And within 24 hours of these people losing their homes, the same developers who the Hawaiian elders fought in court to have that law passed are already calling these people and making them offers for their homes. This is what happens when the government sticks their fingers in everything. The government's in the insurance industry, and they're talking to people who are paying for their campaigns, which are the buyers of this land. And they say to these people, hey, let us know when they call you to get their insurance claims, and let us know when you deny them, so we can then give them a call right away and scoop in and swoop in and be the heroes. So they're going to get this land that they're going to develop into millions of dollars worth of property, and the Hawaiian elders are going to get fuck all. They're going to get screwed over. And this happens everywhere. There's too many coincidences for this not to be shady. Wake up.
And there seems to be so many similar stories about the vultures swooping in on these victims.
Tell you guys, I am so frustrated with investors and realtors calling the families who lost their home, offering to buy their land. How dare you do that to our community right now? If you are Kalamai, sorry, had a little bit poor reception right there. If you are a victim and they are calling you, please get their name. People keep calling me, sorry. Get their business name so we can put them on blast. I am so frustrated hearing since yesterday that multiple families that I know personally were reached out and offered money from investors and realtors. Shame on you. Shame on you. If you are a Maui realtor contributing to that, karma's gonna come and get you. Okay? That is pilau. And if you are a realtor and they are calling you, investors are calling you to represent them, I hope you have dignity and aloha and compassion to turn them away and tell them off.
Speaking of vultures, Hawaiian natives view Mark Zuckerberg as just that. Zuck owns 1,500 acres of land in Hawaii, and he wants more. In the past, Zuckerberg sued native Hawaiians for their own land. Zuck stole over 1,000 acres of land from the locals. There is history of Mark Zuckerberg and Bill Gates attempting to purchase all the islands. In fact, in Kauai, Mark Zuckerberg owns more land there than the government of Kauai itself. An article from The Hill explained, in 2017, hundreds of local Hawaiians who owned interest on small pieces of land within his estate were subject to lawsuits by Zuckerberg's lawyers. This is the face of neo-colonialism, Kapua.
You know, it doesn't surprise me. Mark Zuckerberg fucking stole Facebook from his college roommate, has become a billionaire fucking snake of a man. And it doesn't surprise me. And what kills me is that he's one of the people on the front line, you know, giving nearly $1 billion to the Democratic Party. They bitch and moan so much about the Native American people here on the mainland in America, talking about, oh, you know, this land belongs to them, the white man stole it, this and that. And I wonder if that motherfucker ever looks in the fucking mirror and thinks the same. These are evil people. They're just straight up evil fucking people. You know? If I woke up tomorrow and for some odd reason Mark Zuckerberg lost everything and Facebook shut the fuck down and Instagram and all that, I'd probably, I mean, that'd probably be one of the happiest times of my life, in all honesty. Because that man, for pulling shit like this to go to somebody else's land, buy more of it than the government owns itself, and then kick other people off of it that have been there for centuries, whose ancestors have been there for centuries. He's got a lot of damn nerve to even call himself a man.
Sproat, a law professor at the University of Hawaii, told The Guardian in 2017. Even though a forced sale may not physically displace people, it's the last nail in the coffin of separating us from the land. Mega wealthy people like Mark Zuckerberg have purchased so much land in Hawaii that native Hawaiians, they cannot own land on their native island. Cernovich tweeted,
"How is that possible? How is that even possible? It is just incredible. It truly, truly is."
Hawaii went 2-1 for Joe Biden. All their native land is being stolen from them by Democrats. My heart weeps for Maui, but this is what they voted for. Their land will be taken from them now. Mark Zuckerberg is salivating. Cernovich also replied to a video of former President Barack Obama saying, "Your BlackRock friends are going to carve up that native land to hand out to Mark Zuckerberg and other colonists and oligarchs. Like yourself, you probably already have your new place mapped out. So who owns the most land in Hawaii and stands to benefit the most by this disaster? Larry Ellison, Oprah Winfrey, Mark Zuckerberg, Jeff Bezos. All of Hawaii will soon belong to the billionaires." One billionaire who is actually helping those in Hawaii is Elon Musk, who tweeted, "Tesla and SpaceX Starlink doing our best to be helpful to Hawaii." And by the way, did we ever hear back about those Chinese lasers beaming above Hawaii only 7 months ago?
And just so anybody knows, let me say this real quick. If anybody thinks bad about Elon Musk, when those double hurricanes hit Puerto Rico a few years ago, Elon Musk volunteered to build their power grid, and he was going to do it for cheap and efficiently, and to bring Puerto Rico up to par modernization on their electric grid. The powers that be, the Democrats that are in control in Puerto Rico, the governors and all that, they shut him down. They said no. Just so people know, if you don't believe me, look it up. He could have brought Puerto Rico up to par, but no. And now they're still suffering because, and I'm not trying to bring politics into this, but it just reeks of just one side, it reeks of one side doing whatever they can to just take over. People are going to say, well, what about the Republicans? How do the Republicans step into this? How do they get to the island when the island is 2-1 Democrat? Okay, I'm just saying. I mean, that's the truth, and it's sad that it has to be that way. It really does. It really is. It's really sad. But it's supposed to be Joe Biden that's supposed to bring both sides together to bring help. But he hasn't even gone to the island. He hasn't even. The day that he was told about what's going on in Hawaii, what's he gonna do? He said no comment with a fucking smirk on his face. He went to Delaware and sat his ass on the fucking beach, knowing that the people that live on or around the beach in Hawaii, that there was hundreds of people dead and children. I mean, it's just sickening and evil to fucking think about it.
Usual sight captured on camera. Japanese and local astronomers say a Chinese satellite was recently seen beaming down green lasers over the islands.
The lasers flash for just a couple seconds. Initially thought to be from a NASA altimeter satellite, the Japanese put out a correction note on Monday saying NASA scientists found a most likely candidate as the ACDL instrument by the Chinese Daki-1 AEMS satellite. I went to a University of Hawaii astronomer who read up on AEMS instruments.
It's a Chinese satellite that is measuring pollutants, among other things. It has many different instruments on it.
Seriously, what do you think is happening in Maui, Hawaii? Is this a land grab by elites like Mark Zuckerberg or Oprah Winfrey? Are the conspiracy theories turning out to be true? Was this a natural wildfire, or was it something much more sinister?
Well, there you have it, folks. That's just some of what's going on. I know the video's lengthy, but it should be, because this is not over by a long shot, and it's going to get worse for them, especially since they don't have the outside help, and the outside help being of more people being able to mobilize and get there and help them. They are literally, it's almost as if they're on a, and I say it like this. I'm Native American, and I've said this on many of my videos. It almost feels, I mean, it just has all the makings of being forced on a reservation or concentration camp. It just, there's so many things to this that is just horrible. It's disgusting. I mean, conspiracy theory or not, whatever you people want to believe is fine. Was there a fire? Absolutely, there was a fire. Could the winds have amped up that fire? Yes. But I think that a lot could have been done. Now, the person that's in charge of all the sirens said the reason why they didn't turn on the sirens because the sirens are used when there's a tsunami. They didn't turn them on because they didn't want people to think that there was a tsunami coming and they would have ran into the fire because the fire was coming from one side of the mountain going out towards the water. So, okay, that kind of makes sense. But there's just too many things that happened before that where people could have been warned and they didn't. And not only they didn't, they were stopping people from leaving. This is all wrong, people. This is all wrong. And it's evil and it's wicked. And I pray for them. And I'm angry, and I even pray. If there's wicked people involved in this, which it looks like that, I pray for them. But if they don't care and they're gonna continue down this road, then you know what? God's gonna deal with them accordingly. He's gonna deal with them accordingly. All their money, all their technology, all their AI, whatever it is that they have in mind that they want to do, if it comes down to that, they need to be very careful. They didn't make themselves billionaires. Okay? God gave us and gives us everything. Now, some people may not want to hear me say this, but it's the truth. And if they think they're going to be sitting on somebody else's land all high and mighty, if they think this was the worst, oh boy, nothing's worse than God's wrath. I'm True Outlaw Patriot. Please comment, like, share, subscribe, give it a thumbs up. Pass this along. Pray for everybody that's involved in this. And remember, stay vigilant, keep praying, and keep praying for each other. Peace.